Hello everybody, it's KJ and it's Camp NaNoWriMo, day 1. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm not ready. I'm never ready. If I ever say I'm ready, I'm lying. I'm lying, okay? Because I'm never ready. If you watched my prep video, or you know, if you're new here, welcome. Hi, I'm KJ. I'm never ready for anything, but here I am doing Camp NaNoWriMo, as always. Okay, so my goal for Camp NaNoWriMo is to create a good writing habit, as abstract as that is. I am still in the middle of revising my work in progress that I was working on last year when I started my channel for April's Camp Nano. Yeah, still working on that project, so that's fun. I'm working on those revisions. I was kind of working on this other draft that I started late last year, but I've kind of left that to after. After what? I don't know. After finishing the revisions of my whip, and kind of I've been working on my world building for this whole world that my current whip and pretty much most of my main stories that I'm going to be working on in the near future are set in this one world. So I've been doing all of my world building and I've been creating this wiki for it because I need some organization in my life. I don't know how to do anything, okay? So I'm trying to get my characters together, get the storylines, figure out the books that are trying to be written, and go from there. In creating a good writing habit, I'm just trying to do something daily or as near daily as possible because I never get very far in my daily writing goals. Okay, so I'm working on it. But I decided that doing hours was probably the best way to track my goal. I figured I could at least do an hour a day, but for camp, because I am trying to finish the revisions for my whip, I'm doing 3 hours a day. That's my goal. I kind of rounded it up to 100 hours, so that's what I'm tracking, is 3 hours a day, and we'll see how far I get. Like, I'm trying to split my time between working on my revisions and doing world building, because the world building is kind of a break for me between revision processes. Like, the revisions are a lot. It's a lot of putting puzzle pieces together for me right now, that I'm writing a lot of new scenes for like the last act that because I've messed everything up. I am trying to fix it for the plot and the characters and the timeline. I'm trying to fix it, okay? So it's a lot of writing new scenes, putting old scenes together with new scenes, combining scenes, removing scenes, it's a lot. And right now my whip was at 200,000 some odd words, and right before camp, like in the not last week, because I was working on something that was a completely new project that I didn't need to be working on, but you know how it is. This is why I'm trying to make a good writing habit for myself. Working on like one project at a time, potentially. We'll see. Okay, so last week I was working on something that I wrote nearly 20,000 words in a week of just something that doesn't need to be worked on right now. No. That was like in between my break. Like, I was working on my revisions in March, kind of getting back into it because I haven't done anything at all this year. 2019's been good so far. Like, I had goals. I had goals. So far, the first quarter, nothing. I've done nothing. So quarter 2 is where it's at, is where I'm hoping to get something done, okay? I cut out, I don't know, like 10,000 words, almost 10,000 words from my whip. So I'm at 191, I think, 191,000. It's still a hellish word count, but I did take some stuff out. I know that because redoing like my revision outline and kind of narrowing my focus on exactly what scenes needed to be done, trying to create some kind of roadmap for myself for camp, like what scenes I can work on. I'm not gonna say daily because I know certain scenes take me a long time to write, so I'm doing like weekly goals in terms of like my revisions of how much I can get done to potentially be done by the end of camp. Saying this out loud, I feel like I'm just jinxing myself. Okay, this is it just feels wrong. Okay, like it feels like I shouldn't say things out loud, especially not on my channel, because even though I'm trying for some accountability here, I feel like it just doesn't happen. So all right, I'm down to 191,000, and I know it's not going to stay there because I have a lot of new stuff to be writing, but I am hoping to keep it down, like not at the 200,000 mark. I'm just hoping somewhere along the way I still get to remove a lot of stuff. Remove words. There's so many words. Okay, so that's, you know, that's where I'm at in my revisions, and I do have potential plan for camp as long as I can get some hours in. Doesn't mean I'll finish my revisions. It seems like that's just perpetually my goal, but I guess after taking 4 months off because I was just in a slump, I'm actually feeling better now. It took me a lot of March to get back into the writing swing of things, and now I'm feeling better, mostly. So I'm here, I'm ready to work. I've tried to make it so that maybe I can do an hour or so in the morning, like an afternoon and an evening session, or at least 2 sessions, one early, one later in the day. That's what I'm aiming for. Sometimes it sounds like a lot, where I'm just like, okay, why did I go for this? I need to create a good writing habit, even if it's not daily. Like, I need to be thinking about writing and thinking about my story, even if I'm not working on it. I was thinking about it a lot in the last 4 months when I was not doing anything. That's why, because I took a week to work on something else that like didn't need to be worked on, but it was also kind of another breather for me. Like when I started, you know, when you take months off and it's hard to get back into things. So I was in the middle of these revisions again, and I was like, oh, okay, now I've taken too long off again. I don't know where I'm at. I need to get back into the voices of these characters, figure out a roadmap. While I was working on this other project, I was kind of working on the roadmap. I started using Trello, the like online for organization purposes, and I'm not sure I like it because I'm very much like a physical paper and pen person. So I did have a, you know, mishmash of scenes written down on a piece of paper and I transferred it to the Trello boards that I have going, and I basically sectioned it out into certain days, not for writing but for the book. So I had like a few more days in the timeline of the book, and I kind of separated the scenes based on those days, all leading up into like the climax of the book, which the climax doesn't need a whole lot of revision. It's the same. I will probably just end up rewriting it because I've pretty much rewritten all of this book so far. So why not that? And the end especially doesn't need a whole lot, but it's just because I've rewritten this whole book. Like at this point I need to just rewrite the end as well. This book is so different now that I'm writing it than when I first finished it a few years ago. So I've got that down, and I see it on Trello. I just forgot to check Trello, like, so it was helpful to like retype it though and be able to look at it in those days and see a list of scenes. And then like kind of as I was going, I was thinking about scenes that I had potentially forgotten about. So I was like, where do I put this scene? I just put it in a card in Trello and was like, I'll come back to it. And I've already done that for a couple things for like the next round of revision, where I know that I'll be in the middle of a scene and I'm just like, it's happened to me a lot so far, where I was like, okay, I forgot about this. I messed this up already. Like I'm trying to fix things in this revision and I keep just messing it up. So I hope I stop that. I hope the roadmap helps me a little bit more in terms of the fixing that I have to do. I should probably just relax because I'm feeling jittery and maybe go eat something. Probably not gonna happen, but I should think about that. I really need to get to write it. Okay, so I have Starbucks that I got at like 7 o'clock last night. I'm still drinking it, so it's a green tea latte. It's good. Okay, I'm in a cabin. This camp, it's with other author tubers. There's quite a few of us, so there's always multiple cabins, and I will leave a link to all of my cabin mates. If you don't follow them, you should, because everybody's author-tubers and or booktubers. Like, we're all just writing and trying to do camp together. So I'm gonna leave all the links to everybody that I can, and make sure you go check out the channels and follow them, because we all need the support. But I'm looking forward to it, because I think last year our cabins were kind of I'm gonna try to be more active in the cabin this year, because I get very like shy and awkward, and I don't know what to say, and I try to be encouraging and supportive to other people. So I'm just gonna try my best to actually like respond to people and hopefully like start some conversation. I'm really bad at this. Like, I'm really bad at keeping in touch. I'm really bad at social media. So this is gonna be like some effort on top of the writing routine, is actually going onto the camp website, checking in with my cabin mates, and updating the Camp Nano website, because that's usually the first thing to go for me. Updating my tracking stats. It's like I just stop. So that's part of my thing, is that at the end of the day I'm going to input my words, or in this case my hours. I still keep track of my word count and like everything that I'm working on my own, so that's already like easy enough. Yes, I'm going to make an effort to check in probably every writing session. I'm gonna say maybe like before or after. I'm gonna try to keep that in mind to work on that, I guess. All right, my goal today is 3 hours, so we'll see. I could like knock that out in one writing session, but sometimes I just don't want to. All right, I need to just go. I'm gonna check in periodically. I'm gonna hopefully be better about vlogging as well, because that's also something that I tend to start to ignore, is the vlogging aspect, and actually updating or filming when I'm writing, because sometimes it's 4 in the morning and I don't want to. Like, I don't want to film. I'm really only filming right now because I've already been awake for the day. So if I'm awake again at 4 in the morning, I can't guarantee that I will feel like getting out my camera. Okay, so yeah. I'm going to finish off my Starbucks and decide if I want to start writing right now, or just, I probably have a lot of setup to do, so I'll actually do that kind of stuff maybe. I don't have any of my notebooks in here with me yet, and there's a stack of them. There's a stack of notebooks and binders that come with me when I'm writing, so I'm gonna get them set up, make sure I'm ready, so that when I can sit down and write, I can just do that for a dedicated amount of time. So if it's just for an hour, like, I need dedicated focus. I need to not have distractions. Like, I'll be putting my phone in the other room. I don't really get distracted by social media, but like, I have games on my phone and I like to play those games. My phone's going in the other room. When I'm done with my writing sessions, then I can check social media and check in with my cabin mates and stuff. So I feel like that will be fun. Yes, I hesitate to say that camp is fun, but it is fun. It's nice to have the whole community support. We're all here year round, but we all get a little bit more lively as the nanos come around. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this month and seeing what progress I can make, and just hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, but hoping for good progress, and just, yeah, good progress on my revisions, good progress in daily writing, daily reading, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I feel like this camp is going to be good. Better than November was for me, because that did not go well for me. I wrote for like 4 days. This is why I need a writing habit, okay? Okay. I'll be back when I've done some writing, okay? Okay, bye. Okay, hello. It is 9 o'clock. I did start writing at 7, so that was a more doable hour, I guess. I was able to get into the groove and I wrote, let me see, did I write it down? Yeah. Not yet. I wrote 983 words, so a little, like, kind of like 2 pages in how this manuscript works. I probably write about 1,000 words an hour, so that's slow for me considering it's been 2 hours, but I was going back and forth between Trello, where I had written out the scenes, and kind of going back and forth and kind of double checking where I was going in this scene. I had fun. I'm not quite finished with that scene, so I don't know if I'll work on it later today. I kind of feel like I'm in a good spot to like pick up tomorrow though. I could just finish the scene, but I'm feeling good with where I left it, and I feel like I want to work on some of the world building because basically my goal for this week was to finish outlining, kind of, not even outlining, but like sorting out my characters. So I have a bunch of covens and witches, so I'm kind of going through all of those characters and storylines and trying to sort through those. So my goal is to finish with those characters as much as possible. There's always going to be more work to do, but to lay down like the foundation work inside my wiki with like the pages for these characters and their storylines, that type of stuff. I'd like to finish that and maybe start in on like, I guess like my werewolf characters. I have a lot of types of characters and those characters who are involved in storylines. So what I've already done for the wiki is I typed up some storylines that I had written, like the stuff that I had on my wall last year, those scenes kind of that had to do with like the past timeline of this world. I typed that up, kind of laid it out, so maybe I'll be able to add to it or figure out something to do with the timeline and the storylines for all the books that would like to be written. I'm trying to figure that out. I've made pages for the creatures in my world, the humans and non-humans, and I've put as much information in there as I can so far. And now I'm doing like the sub pages for specific covens and characters and what their storylines are. And what I really like about building a wiki for it is the linking between the pages. And I know you can do stuff like that in Scrivener, so I could keep all of this stuff in Scrivener. I'm more familiar with doing it wiki style, I guess, so creating the pages and linking to them is a lot easier this way for me, and I like it. So I've gotten quite a few done. Like I've been managing, every time I sat down to do world building, I've been managing to do at least like a couple pages. That means like creating the page and putting in the characters and whatever storylines that I know about them and any kind of history that's relevant. So creating those kinds of pages. I've been putting pictures in if I have an idea for what they look like. So sometimes I spend a little bit of time on Pinterest as part of that and going through like my Pinterest boards, because I've already made a lot. I just have to go through them and go, here are these characters, let me all sort them together and put them on like their own board or sub board within Pinterest, so then I can put them on my wiki and have that better organized and have faces to the names. Basically that's been really helping me figure out things. It's also been making things more complicated sometimes, but I'm having fun. So I've done 2 hours, so I only need like 1 more hour to hit my camp goal. So I will probably just do some world building now and we'll see how that goes. I don't have anything else to do today, so we'll see. Maybe I'll end up doing more writing, but for now I'm gonna do some world building. Sorry. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. I'm getting more tired now, obviously. So I actually didn't start working on my world building until just a few hours ago. I got tired, I took a nap. So I did work on, I worked for 2 hours and then I took a break to eat and then worked for 2 more hours. Now my brain doesn't want to do math. So I did 2 hours this morning and 4 now, so I've actually done 6 hours today, so that's double my camp goal. Good stuff. 4 hours of it was world building stuff, and that's not as hard for me, but it is at the same time. It's just a different type of difficult. I'm not drafting a book, but I'm drafting pieces of a world together, so that kind of weighs down on me. Kind of stuff that I feel like hurts my brain. Like, I need more brain processing power to work on my world building. I did good today. I'm proud of my progress, and I did check in with my cabin. I've been talking to people, so good job on that. Yeah, I'm going to call it a day since I've done a lot of work, and I think I will try to start writing bright and early again. I'd maybe like to get more writing done tomorrow than world building, but we'll see. I want to finish the scene I was working on today and then do another scene. But the way I was planning it out was this week I thought I would have maybe 7 scenes to work on. Not necessarily like 1 per day, but I knew certain scenes would be shorter. Like the one I'm working on right now is not really that long. It's just taking me a little while to do it. Some scenes are just going over what I already wrote and redoing it, rewriting it. Right now I'm adding new scenes, and it's been feeling like, because I already did like a scene roadmap, like, you know, I used Trello to organize my notes and my scenes so far. I guess I could show you that as well. So because I did that, I was able to look at it and piece it together a lot easier. And sometimes, like, I wrote like a huge paragraph for the scene, and it's just about everything that happens in the scene, so I'm able to look at that and go, okay, and just fill in the dialogue and some description. I will admit that my description is probably really lacking in this revision, because I'm like a dialogue first person. That's what's easiest for me. I like the banter, the communication between my characters. So I know like one whole draft revision is going to be me going over it for details and description, because there's just going to be a lot of talking heads having conversations, like, but that's what it is. Like, I'm aware of it. So let me show you Trello real quick. Okay, so I just created these boards, and all I did is like my psychic SWIP that I had scenes done, and I already have some scenes down for draft 2 that I want to do. This is my other whip that I'm not really working on, so I just kind of left it there, started it. I started one to do my world building, and I guess I could like actually add the cards so that I know what I'm working on. But here's what I've been able to do. Like, so this is what it looks like when I do it. I just put in scenes as like bullet points, and sometimes it just says art exam, culinary art exam, like things that I just know. I'm just kind of winging it, which is fine, because those are not as important. They're kind of like the good, fun, light-hearted parts in between the heavier parts, where anything where something starts to get a large paragraph, that's usually more information heavy. So I've sorted it out into the days. So I'm doing day 1, day 2 of midterms, and I'm in day 3, and then I have all of these scenes like left, but like this one has potentially 7 scenes, and I think, did I add one? I added one that I have honestly no idea how it's going to go. So these are like separate scenes. This one has 8. These are separate cards because I don't know exactly where to put them. So yeah, that's what I've been working on with the scene stuff. So I've been finding that actually pretty helpful to have it listed out and be able to check it off when I'm done. Yeah, I'm if I can finish like the midterm stuff where I still have quite a few scenes to write, I'd be really grateful for that, because when I came back into it in March, that's when I was doing the midterms day 1 and day 2, and I was able to like get quite a bit done. Actually, I was quite proud of myself, but that's why I knew if I just had an idea, a roadmap, that this month would go easier for me. So even if I don't get all of the scenes, like if I had 7 in my mind to do this week, if I don't get them all done, that's okay, because as long as I'm still making progress, I'd consider that a win. And part of my whole thing is making a daily writing habit, and I know it's only day 1, but like as long as I can do that, I'll be happy. I'm keeping my fingers crossed about like the amount of progress I can make on my revision, but you know. I was working on it all last year. Granted, I took periodic breaks, so I don't know, but this time I'm actually looking forward to it. So yeah, so I will check back in with you guys tomorrow after I've gotten some writing done, probably. I don't know if I'll, because I won't have anything to report other than to write, so I'll check back in with you after I've done some stuff. You know, we're here to challenge ourselves, right? Right, that's what I'm gonna go with, okay? I don't know.